Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite concepts, something I've talked about on the channel over the years, and it has come up again. And it's a concept that has been examined by a whole lot of people over time, and it is rearing its head. So, I recently mentioned on Twitter and in videos how the Ukrainian resistance is expected to start using roadside stuff. And in both locations, on Twitter and on YouTube, I had people ask, how can you condone that? That's only used by the bad people, right? And it goes back to a story from St. Augustine. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here, but the way he tells it, Alexander catches a pirate. And Alexander's like, what are you doing, man? You can't go around marauding the sea. That's wrong. And the pirate's like, what are you doing? You're doing the exact same thing with the whole earth. But because I'm the little guy, I'm called a pirate. Because you have a whole fleet of ships, well, you're an emperor. And Alexander was like, ha, you got me. The concept of pirates and emperors. The idea is that somehow, some way, doing the exact same thing, just using different means, is somehow morally different. It goes back to that idea of a social construct. You have people outraged that Ukraine does appear to be starting to use roadside devices to hit convoys and Russian troops going by. Somehow that gets equated with, the U.S.'s enemies, because it's a tactic they've used a lot. I mean, and I get it. But the reality is, I don't think anybody can tell me any moral difference between a roadside device and artillery. Nobody was going to be able to explain how the roadside device is immoral and Russian artillery is immoral. I mean, the only real difference is that the roadside device is less likely to hit civilians. It's not accurate. And when you're talking about the U.S., explain the difference between the thing on the roadside and that unmanned aircraft. It's the same thing. One just has more technology. One is the purview of the state, and one is the purview generally of a non-state actor. In this case, you have an imperiled state beginning to use that tactic. Why do they use it? Because it works. It works. When you are trying to judge morality and determine what to be outraged about, a general, really accurate rule to use is never base your morality on a nation state's version of what's okay. Because they're going to have different rules for their behavior and for yours. In this case, it is a nation state using it. And I don't see the difference between something on the roadside and a traditional ambush. Especially given from what we've seen so far, the roadside devices employed by Ukraine are on command. And they have drones watching to make sure that they're getting the right people. The tactic is a lot like most science. It can be applied in good ways or bad ways. And whether or not it's good or bad isn't determined by whether or not the person using it has the authority of a major power. That's not what decides it. You are not your government. You can support some actions and oppose others. You can support pieces of something and oppose others. You don't have to co-sign everything the government does, and you certainly do not have to adopt your government's moral stance on anything, ever. In fact, I would suggest if you want to be an advanced citizen, you have to oppose your government's morality because you want it to be better. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.